There is a famous saying that memories warm you up from the inside, but they also tear you apart. As a result, things you knew well can become distant enough to take a lot of effort to remember them. But some of these memories, we never let go. They remain in us almost as fresh as the day we first experienced them. Keep watching to discover why this happens as explained by psychologists. Number 5. Absentmindedness. To be honest, absentmindedness is experienced by almost everyone. It is a mental condition in which the subject experiences low levels of attention and frequent distraction. Absent-mindedness is not a diagnosed condition but rather a state people experience in their daily lives from a variety of different causes including boredom, sleepiness, or focus on internal causes. When suffering from absent-mindedness, people tend to show signs of memory lapse and weak recollection of recently occurring events. This can usually be a result of a variety of other conditions and often diagnosed such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and depression. In addition to absent-mindedness leading to an array of consequences affecting daily life, the scientist explains that it all happens so that we don't remember all the dull moments in our lives. If we were to remember all these, our thoughts would be so cluttered with pointless memories. Number 4. False memory. A psychological phenomenon where a person recalls something that did not happen. People will also make false confessions under the right conditions. A 2010 study examined people who were familiar with a clock at Bologna Central Railway Station, which had been damaged in the Bologna massacre of 1980. In fact, the clock was repaired shortly after the attack but was again stopped 16 years later as a symbolic commemoration. In the study, 92% falsely remember that the clock had remained stopped since the bombing. This is rather scary. Although there is not much to worry about, simple false memories can be implanted. The more complex or unbelievable ones are generally resisted. Number 3. Stereotypes. A stereotype is any thought widely adopted about specific types of individuals with certain ways of behaving intended to represent the entire group of those individuals or behaviors as a whole. This thought or belief may or may not accurately reflect reality. It may be surprising to learn that stereotypes can affect both your current thoughts and your memories. In fact, your memories are constantly distorted by your current beliefs and values. People who belong to the same social group share the same set of stereotypes. Modern research says that full understanding of stereotypes requires considering them from two complementary perspectives, as shared with a particular culture, subculture, and as formed in the mind of an individual person. Holding these negative stereotypes can also cause issues when it comes to police investigations. In the same way that the stereotypes we hold affect our memories in general, they can also affect how witnesses remember a crime. As a result, people were more likely to make false assumptions about who committed a crime based on their beliefs in stereotypes. Number 2. The forgetting curve. The forgetting curve hypothesizes the decline of memory retention in time. This curve shows how information is lost over time when there is no attempt to retain it. A related concept is the strength of memory that refers to the durability and memory traces in the brain. The stronger the memory, the longer period of time that a person is able to recall. A famous psychologist by name Herman Abigails determined that you will forget information about something very quickly at first, but over time, this slows down and cutting out less relevant events. This leaves you with a memory but removes the details that you wouldn't really need anyway. Number 1. Persistence. It is so hard to forget the pain and embarrassment of the past and so hard to remember times when things go well. Your brain is hard at work here, reminding you of your mistakes, not letting you get over the past. Why can't we forget? Some people get trapped in a depressive circle in which thoughts of these bad events go around and around in their heads. This syndrome of depression is an example of your brain's apparent inability to wipe out events that you'd rather forget. So why would our brains do this? There are good reasons for the brain to store memories that way. By emphasizing pain, keeping it close to the surface where it can be easily found again. Your brain is trying to protect you from making the same mistake again. However, this also means that if you were under the influence of drugs or alcohol, your brain keeps on reminding you of the pleasure you used to derive from the consumption, which in turn makes you want to go back to your old ways you'd rather forget. Unfortunately, the downside of persistence goes against the purpose of persistence, which is to keep us out of danger. So, which other ways do you think our memories can fail us? Comment below and let's shed some light on it. If you love this voice, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get notified each time we upload fresh content.